I had the first version of the Rob Machado quad fins, and people say, oh, I love mine, it's the best pairing I've ever had. And then other people say, no, I didn't like mine either. So what's different about version 2? Well, these are handmade in South Africa, laminated carbon interlayers with bamboo. The first ones were honeycomb. These ones also have a foil on them on the inside where the other ones were flat. Also, Rob has raked this one back and given it a little more curve in it and made it stiffer. Also, he's changed the cant, so instead of being out there, it's come in 2 degrees. That's the angle of it. And on Futures fins, the angle is built into the fin. The back fin is now more upright, and it also has a little bit of foil and a little more rounded shape. So what they've done is effectively go like that, and that apparently gives it more of a sweet spot, just more like a split keel in a way, which I'm kind of excited about. So my first hypothesis is these should work on different types of boards better than the first version. That's what they say on the website as well. But I'm going to put them in my Seaside Volcanic and see how they feel for me, see if they actually feel better than the first version of these fins. And I think maybe when they went from Futures to Firewire, they've had a chance to sort of design them and upgrade them. They're also 15% lighter, they're way lighter. Apparently they're stronger as well, and of course they look quite different. But let's see how they surf. So are these new Rob Machado fins any good? I think they are. I actually can tell the difference. They are lighter, stronger, and they're more upright. It felt perfect with this board, with this Seaside. It was surprisingly different from the first versions that I tried. So whatever changes Rob's made with the stiffness, the lightness, the cant, and the foil, it's all been worthwhile. And I think this board would work really well with these fins right up to a mid-wave range. I've surfed this board with regular quad fins in bigger waves, and I have a few friends who have surfed this board with regular quad fins. We'll see what that looks like and why that might work. So here we have a regular quad set of Firewire. This is what I've been surfing this board with before I got the new keels, after I sold the first version of the keels, and it surfs fine. And especially when the waves are a bit juicier, you're going to find you have a little more control because the fins are spread out into more corners. It's less like that twin fin keel, and it's more like a regular performance board quad feel. And I have friends who surf their boards in the Maldives and up to head high, and they use these fins matched to their size. I'm 95 kilograms, so I'm going to be using this large set. My friend is about 68 kilograms. He rides the medium set and he loves it. So if you want more range on your Seaside, get a regular set of quads to extend the range of it. I think the keels are just going to get a bit out of control at that head high range. And so just dropping that fin size. By the way, it's about 10% less surface area with this regular quad set than the Machado keel set. This is what it looks like if you were to lay the regular quads over the Machado's keel set. You can see the keels have a lot more drive here, and these regular quads are just a little more upright. And in the back, the rears, you can see there's a little more surface area on the standard quads, and there's still plenty of drive, but more of a squashed down profile for that rear trailer. And that's why I think the regular quads are going to step up better on this board. But let's face it, you're not really buying this board as a really good wave board. Generally, it's more of a groveler board. If you're going to ride the Seaside as a twin, which some people want to do, then something like this AMK, Almeric keel, could do the job. But I will say, I don't ride my Seaside as a twin because it was originally designed as a quad and it replaced the Go fish. So if you want a twin, get a 2-fish or something else. There's plenty of other twin fins that I would rather ride before I ride my Seaside as a twin. But if you only have one Seaside and you really want to feel that twin fin feel, then at least you could do that with something like the AMK. Something else to consider when you're thinking about your fin choice is how big is your Seaside compared to you? When I got this Seaside, I went for a fairly large sizing. I'm 6'2" and a bit on a good day, and this Seaside is 6'1", so it's kind of an oversized Seaside. It's actually 46.5 litres, and that's on the high side for me, but I really wanted an effortless groveler. I wanted to be able to glide around and not have to work too hard on those tiny, tiny days, 1 to 2 feet. So I think for me, on an oversized board, these keels are going to work great up to maybe chest high, but as soon as we start going above that, that's when I would want to put those regular quads back in, because I'm going to find there's a lot of board and it's going to be harder to get that rail in on the bottom turn. And if I had an undersized Seaside, a very short Seaside for my size, then I think these fins would actually work for quite some time until you need to replace them, because you can handle all that drive when there's just less surface area. Keep in mind, these things are extremely wide from side to side. And there's one other thing I discovered. When you are sitting up on your board in the lineup, just keep in mind to put your ankles nice and wide. It's pretty easy to jab your ankle on the fin edge here or here. And luckily, these new keels are actually quite smooth and didn't need any sanding, so they didn't break skin, which is good. So for me, I'm really glad I sold the first version and I got these brand new ones because they're stiffer, lighter. They're a little more upright in terms of cant, and they're just a little more foiled. They feel great. But I'm curious, which fins have you found that work best for your Seaside? In what conditions, and also importantly, what rider weight or height are you? Because I think that would make a small difference. And whether you have a regular size, oversized or undersized Seaside, it's going to make all the difference.